So I'm just going to talk about the interior a little bit. As you can see, it's very clean, it's modern, it looks nice. On the other hand, it is a lot of black. Like, it's black on black on black, with a little bit of trim. The wood though, the wood trim is really nice. You can feel the grain, it's sort of open. The leather and stuff feels nice. One of the things, the roof liner is really nice. It's, I think, Alcantara. It's similar stuff I've felt in an Audi R8, and so you don't get this on the Model 3. Not that it's the most important thing, but it's a nice touch, and it just sort of feels good in the hands. On the other hand though, you know, I've driven a lot of luxury cars, including just about every BMW made as I used to work there, and the interior here, while it is nice, it's modern, it's minimalist, it's not in the same league. Like, it's really not the same caliber. As an example, like, do you hear that squeak and the flex? And you realize, like, oh, the silver trim is cheap plastic. Even the wood here, it kind of flexes when I press on it. Here as well, the alignment's kind of off. There's a lot of little details. The edge is off. This creaks. When you press on it, it feels like really cheap, like surprisingly cheap. The leather feels good, but whatever the material under it is like super hollow and plasticky and weird. The center console, also really flexy, really kind of iffy feeling. It is pretty practical though. I'm mostly helpful. So you can see there's got a little spot for charging your phone. It has a lightning plug. It's kind of built in, it's pretty clever. They just have the cable routed to the USB port here, and so you can switch it out to you know, micro USB or USB-C if you need. Of course, nowadays, you know, it'd be nice to see Type-C, but obviously in 2017, the USB-A made more sense. There's no wireless charging though. That would be another nice thing. One complaint, you have this little cubby here, which seems cool. I used to like it until I realized it's useless. So as an example, you might want to put your phone in there, right? It works until you drive really at all. Particularly, these cars are known for their acceleration. So if, for example, you were to step on it, the phone will come flying backwards. It's actually happened to me numerous times. So I don't even use this compartment. It's really not that useful, which is sort of a shame. And here you have this interesting collection of cup holders, but they're these little detachable devices, so you can fit either a small or a very large cup. It's pretty clever. You can also do some interesting dividing things like this if for some reason you wanted to. I think that's pretty nifty. The seats are really good. I like them a lot. They're actually very comfortable and quite adaptable. These are the second generation seats, which were released around 2017. The older Model S's had a different seat, which I've tried, was not very impressed with. But these are actually really good. The only thing you will notice compared to a BMW or other luxury car, you'll notice it has all these folds, these pleating. And you know, that comes only after, you know, I've just had the car for 3 years. And it's because seats are actually hard to make, and Tesla hasn't quite figured out how to do that and prevent this from happening. So I'm not sure how these will wear in the long term. But my back seat is actually still the first gen seat, and you notice it's sort of a flat bench. It doesn't really have the distinction or like sort of somewhat bucket seat feel that you'd want. The newer Tesla seats do a better job of this, but really any other luxury brand actually has much better back seats. It's also weird that the center headrest, you can't lower it, so that does impede visibility. It's not the end of the world. The visibility is actually still pretty good in this car. It's hard to tell because of the glare, but yeah. And of course you have a giant backup camera, which is great and really helpful. You can see pretty wide corner. You do have a little blind spot, you know, in each corner. Again, though, all things considered, it's actually not too bad. It didn't bother me so much. And the camera, the backup camera, really helps alleviate a lot of that. So here, I mean, you can see I turned on, you can just turn on the backup camera at any time. And two things are really good. The camera's really good, but also the video processing that Tesla does is good. And because you have a giant LCD screen, well, one of the benefits is the camera looks really good. And so I will say this is the best backup camera I've ever used compared to any other BMW or other car that I've driven. put it in reverse. So, and other cars do this too, but Tesla does a pretty good job of, you can see those lines change as I turn the steering wheel. And yeah, they do a really good job. You really have a good sense of space for the cars, and then you have this cool sort of radar view. Again, other cars have these sort of, I guess it's sonar, I'm not sure actually, little sensors for close object detection, but the Tesla giant screen sort of helps make that very clear. I will say some BMWs have this virtual vertical camera setup that is very cool, and you know, Tesla has all these side cameras. They could probably do something similar, so it'd be cool to see them do that in a future software update, because then it actually, like this top-down view, but you actually get live camera feeds that they kind of simulate, so you really get a sense of like where you are in the parking spot. And yeah, it'd be cool to see Tesla do that. As far as controls, you know, the giant touchscreen is cool. I will say it's a pain at nighttime. It actually really hurts the eyes, and I'll talk more about that later. One thing you'll notice, I think you can see in the video, this yellow edging. So this is a defect. It's actually pretty common in a lot of Model S's. And so this is the second screen. I've already had the screen replaced twice due to this. And so it actually needs to be replaced a third time, and the dealer was finally like, you know, we're back ordered, come back to us later, and I decided it wasn't even worth it. I'll be returning the lease before then. Here you can see the Inframet cluster. Yes, I did name the car Grey Wolf. It's a great name. Don't question it. In general, this display is pretty great. I feel like I would miss it on the Model 3. I do wish that it could be darker. I think this could be greatly improved in a future model if they use an OLED screen that could go totally black, particularly at nighttime. That being said, I still wouldn't mind being able to have this display always on, and yet be able to turn this one off at night. Even at zero brightness and in dark mode, the screen is just too bright.